Welcome to the Roy Anthony and every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is
Anthony
anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank
And Cynthia.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank
And Cynthia.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's where we can kick
Every Tuesday.
Everything is going
Every
down.
Thursday.
They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, Roy Anthony
Every
Show. It's through
Tuesday.
the week, homie. The Roy
Every
Anthony
Thursday.
Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get up,
Tap in.
before we gotta
Tap
talk.
in.
What you listening to? The Roy Anthony
Every
Show. Come on
Tuesday.
and kick it with us. The Roy Anthony
Every
Show.
Thursday.
It's going down, homeboy. The Roy Anthony Show. Co-host
Tap in.
Big Hank. We getting it. What you think? It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank
And Cynthia.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank
And Cynthia Joy.
So they didn't claim and eat left. Come on, Rob. Go, Rob.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Oh man, I'm Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. My co-stars will be popping in soon and shortly. Big Hank Norman coming out of Long Beach. He's always doing stuff for the Lord first, you know, working with the church and everything before he jumps in. And then we have our beautiful queen, that's our other co-star of the show, Cynthia Joy, who's been going through rigorous physical therapy training where she didn't even have no feelings in her legs, to where, you know, 10 years ago to now she's getting his feelings. It hurts. She's working it, but she's so uplifted. So we'll be seeing her shortly. We come from the platform of the WO Entertainment platform, which was created to bring awareness to how our veterans commit suicide on a daily rate. Then you compound that with our teenagers that commit suicide on a daily rate. And we know that a lot of people who commit suicide is either depressed so highly and they feel that their life doesn't matter, and that, you know, they can't see, you know, the outcome. And this is stuff that I've heard from those who've tried to commit suicide and survived, and their mindset of how they were thinking. And to create this platform was some people who have some good hearts, veterans themselves. Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, and the co-creator Goose, along with our social producer Blue Phoenix, Ethan Daly, our sponsor Matthew Brooks, our good neighbors BB Nation, which is the Backwood Veterans based out of Oregon. And then we want to give a shout out to, because I plan to be there this Friday. I'm gonna be kicking it with Dean Cerny and not Dean Cerny, excuse me, Dean Cerny. He's in Ohio. I meant Carl Loomis. He'll be in the house along with J-Dub, to my understanding. I seen one of our neighbors who comes in and out with us, and so she's in the background. I didn't know if she's ready to come in or not. She'd give me the hands up because I seen she's off screen. When she's ready to come in, we're gonna bring Miss Leonie Wade in. I seen her back there kicking back in the background, and so we we're still on one. I'm sorry though, but as a comedian and our expressions of what we find humorous, it's just like Big Hank always, not Big Hank, but Richard King always states that you don't have to apologize for funny. Hold up, I'm gonna bring my the queen in, and I was just talking to her about her and stuff. What's up with you, Miss Cynthia Joy?
What's up, Sugarfoot Sweet Face? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing there, sugar dumpling lips, honey dumpling face? I can't do it like her. I be feeling corny, and so she said it all fluently and flowing. How you doing?
I'm good. I just dropped my, well, I ain't just, but this morning I dropped my oldest off to a high school orientation. So
Oh,
I got a
wow.
high schooler. So I got to pick him up this afternoon, but I'm excited for his future. So
Yes.
I'm good.
Yes, you should be. I was just talking about how you had told me how last Thursday you was sharing with us, and it didn't get past me at all
What?
about how you hadn't had no feelings in your leg 10 years ago to now their feelings are starting to come back. And I know it's hurts and stuff like that, but that means that it's starting to come back into life,
Right.
I can only assume how sometimes if I sit in a certain way and my leg goes to sleep, my foot goes here, I don't know it until I get up, go walking. I'm like, I'm about to, so
Right.
I
It's
just,
all real.
I can similar imagine, especially for 10 years of not having a feeling and probably getting used to that. I wonder, does that also falls into that spontaneous
Spasticity?
spasticity? I was going to get
No.
it because you said it's meant mind,
Yeah, the
like mind.
spasticity is in your brain.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I was just wondering if you didn't have no feeling in your leg like almost 10 years ago, and your mind get used to not having that to where you're saying now, since everything's flowing through your leg, you starting to feel the pain.
It's hyper now. At first, it was hypo. That means it's low. I ain't have much of it. But now
Yeah.
it's hyper. So now I feel more than the average person would feel on that side.
That's what I'm saying. And stuff. It seems like
Yeah.
it's constantly make the way I'm imagining is that it's waking everything back up that hadn't been awoke for a minute.
Yeah, it's constantly
And so-
sending like currents. Like you can almost imagine electrical signals going through my body because I literally have like shocks and pins and needles, and it feels like that going down my left side.
Be walking with you and some all of a sudden you do like a James Brown. Hey,
That's right. I'd be like, hit that shit.
That's what I was saying. I was like, hey, I got one of the brothers who's supposed to be on the show calling me. Hold up for a second. Were you trying to get on the show or you just called me on purpose?
I'm trying to get on the show.
Oh man, my bad. Look, everybody can hear you. I got you on the cell phone. Hold up. I'm gonna send you the link.
All right, send me on the show. Hit me on.
Hey y'all, this
Hey,
the
we already got you on the
live
show.
and raw.
We hear you right now. I got you on the phone, and everybody's like, okay, they all laughing. I'm gonna send you the link. He had asked me, but some people would be like, oh no, man, I don't know if I want to do that or not. It's it's right now. We're on the show right now. It started at here. I've sent you the link. There you go. And so
I'm just gonna assume y'all he went to go let his friend in. So while he's gone, I'm just gonna remind you of how beautiful you are. You made it today. You made it through yesterday. So that is progress, sugar. He's back.
yeah, that was my doing. I did that time. I messed up that time. I was hyped up when I seen coming in. Let me bring in Leon. She's been back. That way, if I do dip out, y'all can hear. Y'all can be talking. What's up with you, Miss Leonie Wade?
Hey, everybody, look at that beautiful smile
What's
of
up,
Cynthia.
Sugarfoot? How you doing, honey?
Good, I miss you.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, wait a minute, in the private chat, Leone had wrote, we didn't see it. You can't
But if
see it
it's
in the
private,
private chat, but she said, wow,
don't
you'll
say
be running
our private.
marathons soon. Huh?
Yes, I will. I said, if it's, you telling our private info, we probably said something dirty in there.
Well, I wasn't going to read it out if it was bad. I was just, when I read it first, that's why I was like, oh, wait a minute. She's encouraging. You know, Miss Ramonda, she just said something out on the radio.
Oh, hey, boo. How you doing, Sugarfoot?
And so, wait a minute. Big Hank just showed up. I'm going to bring him in. He just showed up to the house.
Oh, it is white beater.
Like that? That's how you gonna pop
I don't even see him. I don't even see him.
He's in his white beater. Oh my God.
Oh, I don't even see him. It's still stirring on my end. Oh, there you go.
A little haze over him.
Hey, now see, look what you can tell Leone from the hood. She called it the white beater. A lot of people call it the slingshot. She was like, she from the deep hood when you call it the white beater.
And she got a little too excited over there. I'm gonna need you to calm down over there, man. Shit, what you doing?
Wait a minute. Hey, we got another guest in. This is my brother, who's coming out from Los Angeles. I gotta bring him in too, man. He called me and like, man, where's the link?
Man, I gotta say hi to Leone, man. I ain't seen her in a long time. Hi, Leone. How you doing? What's up, Cynthia? Cynthia, what's up, baby? Good, man. Good.
How everybody doing?
Wrong around.
Who we got? Levante.
Hey, this is wrong.
It's wrong. It's wrong. Yes,
yeah,
it's Levante Alexander, but this is wrong.
Wrong. What's happening, wrong?
How you doing, Sugarfoot?
What's the big old deal? How you doing, little booty? You know what I'm talking about?
They matter. I'm glad you know they matter.
Hey, listen, you know what I'm talking about? I have no problem with a little booty. You know what I'm talking about? Anything else to be uncivilized.
Hey, this is my brother. Like these two, Big Hank and then Rome. This is my brothers. You know, and Rome been with me. We've been through some of the craziest stuff through LA. from every type of scenario you could think of, and I got so much love for him and stuff, man. And me, him, Big Hank, we have all hung out one time over at Big Skis. You probably don't recall. It was Big Hank there. I think. Was you there? You was there. Or was
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I think this is my first time meeting Levante, man. Rome. My first time meeting Rome, I believe.
You're probably the first black dude I ever heard call him Levante.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
For real.
It's a whole lot of Levantes in the hood, nigga. That's like my 14th Levante I know. Them niggas Levantes, all the Levantes
you mean
in the hood.
Levante? Levante. It's a lot of Levantes in your hood?
It's a lot of Levante. I know some Levantes from my neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Hey.
you know. It's only one.
Look.
I'm Levante, and then my son is a Levante. You know what I'm talking about? My son is my junior. Give me the only two Levantes. Yeah.
Hey, Big Hank, everybody speaks fluent Spanish, right? So
yes,
one
sir.
day we go to KFC, and when we order, the whole staff is Latinos. So when we pulling up, he said, "Oh, they cracking jokes." So all of a sudden, you know, I don't know. I know enough to get by, but all of a sudden he said, "But they all stopped and looked. They were like, "Oh shit!" You know what I'm saying? He's like, and them folks are giving us free chicken like
He said, "I heard that."
I remember that. I remember that. We was in the drive-through. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Get that.
Yeah, he told him. He said, "I heard that shit y'all said, and we ain't playing that shit, man. Give us some chicken, man."
Hey,
whatever he said to them.
Hey, listen. On God love, people will tell you anything. You know, what I'm talking about people try to pull one over on you, but it's all good.
Yes,
though.
sir.
We ain't gonna play the games with them.
Hey, they all stopped. They stopped and just looked over at the car like, "Oh shit, we busted." Like, and he was laughing at him with that language. I don't know what he said, but he's like, "God, that guy." And I was like, "Okay, what you say to him, dog?"
Hey, I don't even remember the whole thing, Roy.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what they said, but I know they was shooting some shit at us. You know what I mean? Where they was trying to, they was coming at us. They was coming at us stupid. So I hollered back at them and let them know I understood what the hell they was talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, now we're gonna get back on the subject. Right. I'm glad we have a different, we have different outlooks, different walks of life here on this page. Right now. Now, somebody asked me Thursday, what do the Congress and their laws in Florida have to do with those of us who lives in California or Colorado? And I pondered that over the weekend. And I went deep into thought. Am I making more out of something? But when a sickness starts, it'll spread. When the crack cocaine came into the neighborhood, it seemed like it hit every major city overnight. It didn't migrate like it was in New York August, and then it got to California in December, and it seemed like it hit overnight. Now, if we known from what we've seen on the post effects of that, we probably would have tried to get out of that as quickly as possible. Now, why I'm saying that is because it was brought to my attention while we was talking about the Santas and this slavery thing. Why would it bother us, or why would it concern us? And when we see that it's starting on running for the presidency of the United States, it makes me wonder, like, okay, if we don't nip that in the bud now, how do we not stop the other states to say, hey, you know what? They got a good point. We should get in accordance with Florida and say that slavery helped a lot of blacks benefit. That's what they say. I done seen countless of videos of people picking up the same way that me, Big Hank, and Greenleaf had thought about stuff. Well, we ain't gonna share with some ideas that we came up with. But the thought pattern and the video, where for me to get a clarity from y'all, I want to play the video and see what you think. I'm gonna play the video, okay? I want y'all to hear this video, and you tell me, exactly what's going on here. Hold up.
In the policy, it says instruction includes how slaves develop skills, which in some instances could be applied for their personal benefit. Could you just explain?
You should talk to them about it. I mean, I didn't do it, and I wasn't involved in it. But I think what they're doing is, I think that they're probably going to show some of the folks that eventually parlayed, being a blacksmith into doing things later in life. But the reality is, all of that is rooted in whatever is factual. They listed everything out. And if you have any questions about it, just ask the Department of Education. You can talk about those folks. But I mean, these were scholars who put that together. It was not anything that was done politically.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Did this nigga say parlaying?
Parlay.
Did this
nigga said parlay. Yeah, nigga said parlay.
That just threw me for a whole loop. Like, what the hell?
Hey, see, saying? Hey, look, my mic, my ear, I'm on my my AirPods, right? So I didn't hear none of that. I didn't see no video, none of that. Oh, God love, I didn't. No, I'm looking at my phone, right? But I had a phone call in the middle of that. And so I canceled my phone call.
Well, we ain't going to change up our whole production because...
No, I'm not. I didn't expect that. But I missed it.
But we trying to explain to you that the Santas and the Board of Education in Florida acknowledge that a lot of blacks let me say it like this.
You can't even get it out. You can't even get it out.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it ticks me off every time I hear it. It's so disrespectful.
Man, I missed that.
That
No,
blacks
I understand.
benefited from slavery.
Yeah.
And then, as
It's
an
crazy.
example, he used a blacksmith and all the scholars and all this that came together to justify. So when he used a blacksmith, and I've been trying to put it into analogy of, okay, a blacksmith to where you change tires for Goodyear. That's the only correlation I can come up with.
A blacksmith, he was the one that used to change the shoes on the horses and stuff like that. So now he's saying we went from changing shoes on horses to shining shoes at their place or something. I don't know.
Also blacksmith formed metals and stuff like that and all that. And then they will get politically correct. Well, we're not saying you're black. We're just saying that the apron is, you know, where you wipe your hands is black. Okay.
It's crazy to me because what happens in one state usually transitions over to other places. So that's why it affects all people. Just because it's in one state don't mean it don't affect all people. We all black.
Right. And that's the point what I'm saying, Cynthia. Right. Even like when I was talking about the crack game when it came overnight and stuff, it supposed to started in New York, and next thing you know, it done spread across the whole US. Now there's an ideology on this that the disrespect. See, I thought it was disrespectful when it was 3 or 4 months ago, and someone would say, well, why are you taking personal? Because my family members live down there. Right. My brother lives down there, a lot of family members. Now it's mandatory. It's not a selective class, it's mandatory that all kids from the 6th grade to the 9th grade is taught this. That these panel of scholars and everything, which seem to be all white except for one black, and the one black is the one who got elected because he stated last month we thank God for slavery.
Look, but you got to remember, people got their opinions just like we all got assholes, and they're going to feel how they feel, so you can't worry about that. It takes the parents and the household of that village to make sure these kids know the right information, because the government going to teach what they want to teach. It's up to us to educate our children. So don't let that off and make you mad because we live in this world.
You're absolutely right, man. What you got in your mouth, man? What?
Oh.
I'm finna roll me a cigarette, Roy. I'm rolling
that's what we call it. I didn't know what you're doing.
Hey, listen.
You do know that you on national, worldwide news, everybody. You do know that. I just want you to be aware.
That's fine, I'm still rolling me a cigarette.
Okay.
I'm holding my phone.
I'm still rolling me a cigarette.
I'm still rolling me a cigarette. Okay.
Hey,
I'm listening to what you're saying.
Hey, look, and he's serious too because cats.
I'm serious.
I let people know we get upset with this. This is blatant racism to a fact that I'm supposed to say nothing. That you're
supposed to do your part. All you can do is your part. You getting upset ain't gonna change nothing.
Exactly.
Exactly. 7 years ago, my daughter, she's 15 now. When she came, it was 7 years ago. And I was gonna take her to Disneyland.
I can't.
I'm taking her to Disneyland. Damn, Rome is something else, man.
Hey, listen,
you get done, man. Now we got to look at the bottom of your crouch. I'm gonna wait till you get done.
Thank you.
I'm like, just take them out.
Yeah. I thought he was about to start taking a piss.
I'm like, Roy.
Okay, now he's back.
I'm trying to roll a cigarette though, Roy.
Hey, man, I didn't know if you was about to take a piss. I took your camera off. We don't want to look up at you nuts.
I'm not finna take a piss, Roy.
Well, but I don't know. The cameras look like a John Holmes move. I just said, let me move the camera.
Hey, listen,
you start taking a piss, I'll be pissed off.
I'm rolling the bugler. I'm rolling the bugler.
Okay. Hey, well, I just take you off because we do have certain people. There's some people we done ran off because we had to try to quiet them down because there's a personalization situations getting involved with us, you know.
Right.
But as blacks, though, when you heard this, just hearing this. And you won. It's not just DeSantis. They said the whole Board of Education of Florida. Now, my daughter, I was bringing this story up. This is a true story. My daughter is 7 at this time, and she just learned something in her class. So she comes in, her book bag, she's mad. I said, hey, what's up with you, sugar mommy? She said, Daddy, were we slaves? And it sounded like she wanted to cuss. I lie to you not. She sounded like, were we mother slaves? And the way she looked, she was hurt. And I said, well, baby, our ancestors, you know, and she was pissed. She didn't want to go to Disneyland because when you go to Orange County over there, she's seen all them white folks. And this first thing she said, and I had to break it down. I said, well, look, baby, all of them was like that. And we're not in that generation. You know what she told me? But how do you know it won't come back at us?
It never left.
Well,
She's pretty smart.
Slavery never left.
She's pretty smart for a 7-year-old. She's pretty smart.
Yeah,
it seemed like it's coming back though. Yeah, it seemed like it's coming back on us. Shit.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
It's actually what you allow. It's actually what you allow. It's the same thing. We have to teach our kids at home first. Because if we don't teach them at home first, when they get to school, they're not going to know their ABCs, their 1, 2, 3s, their address, or where they came from.
Right.
If we're gonna allow the teachers to teach our kids before they get there, then we're wrong.
But wait a minute, look at the age group that they're picked. They picked the Pacific age group 6th through the 9th grade. Now this is a grade where in these ages, that's when we tease. Let's say somebody don't have the proper clothes. You got teased about having high waters or Ikes. That was a form of Nikes with the label.
Oh yeah, buying your shoes from Fedco and Jimco. Yeah, you got teased back then.
So aren't they fanning more bulliness? Because then that you know, if I was white and I'd be like, you was my slave, you want to well,
I can barely hear you because
yeah, we can't hardly hear nothing, man. But yeah, I think that that they picking that age group because that's when you start making some of the major decisions in your life, man. Yeah. You know, from you know, when you 12 to 15, 12 to 16, that's when you start saying, well, am I gonna start having sex? Am I not gonna start having sex? Am I gonna start gang banging? Am I not gonna hang with the gang bangers? So you making your major decisions at this time, and so that's why they putting that in there now. Because if you're gonna make the decision to believe that stuff, it's gonna be at that time.
That's true, but that's even more the reason why parents got to step their game up a little bit harder.
Let me say this right here. And you know what? I got a 14-year-old daughter, right? My daughter's name is London. I call her Pooter. Now, my daughter just got in trouble because her mother found out she was smoking weed, right? Now, I smoke weed on occasion. Some weed had me discombobulated. I used to smoke weed every day. You know what I mean? But I told my daughter just like this. I'm not mad at her because she smokes weed, but I want her to know the things that come along with that. You know what I mean? As far as an addiction, period. You know, because you got some of these men that will take my daughter, beautiful. All my kids look like me. My daughter is beautiful. You know, she's spoiled. She's beautiful. But you have some men that will use somebody at that age, you know what I mean, and try to use that at their advantage. Like some men will try to bait her in with a blunt. You know what I mean? Some bomb weed. They'll try to bait her in with some bomb weed and roll a blunt and get her high and want to have them give her head or something like that. You know what I mean? True. And clearly, I'm gonna let you know, I blow a nigga head off.
But the fact that you got the door open for your daughter and you didn't crucify her, you talked to her.
Listen, trying to bait my daughter in like that. You know what I mean? But it's all on us.
Hey, Rome, let me ask you this though. Yeah. So what do you say now where it's a curriculum to say, hey, your child is taught that slavery helped benefit her.
That slavery helped benefit her?
Yeah, That's what the subject's about. We still
Yeah, but
going
can't
into
nobody
that.
teach your child none more than you. That's the whole point. Like, regardless of what this government says, we are our kids' biggest influence and the people we surround them with. So if we're surrounding them by people who are empowering their black and reminding them that it wasn't a choice and it wasn't a good thing, and just everything that's true behind it, they can't be turned by what the government is saying or even what they teaching in school, because they're gonna know it's not true. It's like Santa Claus. People
Right.
teach that to their kids, but then other ones don't. So some know truth of it and some don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's really just up to that parent and how you got the door open for your kid to be able to express what they need to express to you.
Well, you know what gets me is that I just think that children should be taught economics, how to balance checkbooks, how to
Facts.
do your credit,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
simulate job scenarios. How do you
Mm-hmm.
deal with a stressful scenario at your job? We bring a lot of attacks. You notice how attacks will be on children.
Yeah.
People want to walk into a school and start shooting the children. You want to snatch up children.
That's
You
because
want
our
to
whole world focused on the
like
wrong
Rome was
shit.
saying, enticing them and stuff like that. It's always trying to bully on someone's innocence
Right.
and
Yeah.
stuff. And so they pinpoint this grade. Let's teach one grade. If it's not teaching division more, what you teaching the kids, how do the black kids supposed to assimilate to this when they sitting there and the teacher is telling them it's mandatory that I got to teach you that your family might have benefited from slavery.
So let me ask you this then. If we know that's a problem, we got power to do some. Why do you think that people won't choose to homeschool their children and teach them what they want them to know versus letting the schools teach them,
Well,
period?
sometimes you got a scenario right there. So, say for instance, I'm gonna teach you home. You know, well, sometimes they say a parent ain't adequate enough to be able to teach their child, especially if you got a parent that done dropped out of school. We done went
That's
through
true, but
this.
why you can't learn together? We can teach our children that even as parents, we make mistakes too, and we're flawed too. So we can all learn together. It's not like one is better than the other.
So
Yeah,
now we
we're
got a
gonna but
truancy
that,
problem, Cynthia, because some parents have thought that, but
huh?
then
But
Say
their
that
you
one
job,
more time.
you
their
You got
might
a
job
you
what
might
tells
not
kind of
them
problem?
that
you
um,
might not be. Go ahead, Roy. Go ahead.
their job tells them you can't take the day off. So now
Right.
you're expecting your kid to be at home while you're working to homeschool themselves. Now that's why they come up with these laws called truancy. Even worse, because in California, um, they said, hey, Levante, mute your mic when you're not talking. When you're not talking,
No,
because
I understand what you're saying with work and stuff like that, but to me, where there's a will, there's a way. Just like back in the day, our ancestors made a way when them white folks tried to make it hard as hell for them. So it's really about your drive and what you want to do. So I mean, if you want to homeschool your kid, then maybe you can try to find a night job. Nobody said it's gonna be easy, but anything that's
Rome,
worth having.
mute your mic, Rome. Sometimes when you're not talking, because we keep hearing the cars go through. It's
How
just
do I
like,
do that? I don't know how to do that.
It's
oh,
down there
just
at the
press
bottom.
the
Well, on your
button.
phone, you might have to tap your phone to see
Okay.
it, but it's gonna say mute and
Yeah. Then
camera and all that stuff at the bottom.
when you want to talk, just unmute it. Yeah.
Okay, so I just did it.
Yeah.
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 Okay, I got it. I got it. All right, I got
Good
it.
They
looking.
said he is
I got it.
telling the truth.
I need a new phone. So I can barely see stuff on my phone. So,
Oh
and plus
man,
my eyes is
Jonathan
bad. My
Robinson
eyes is
said he is telling the truth. Thanks, Donovan. Which one you was saying the truth? Well, I appreciate that. Look, y'all, there's a problem. We can't turn our back, and I don't care if it's in this country. We didn't live in Michigan or Minnesota when Mr. George Floyd got murdered, but we still felt it.
Yeah.
I wasn't in North Carolina when Breonna Taylor got shot in her own house 140 some times. I didn't live there, but I felt it.
Right.
There are situations in my own neighborhood I've came out and say, what? And I didn't know. So I didn't, I wasn't there. But I'm gonna take this platform and speak out on the stuff. We don't probably have nobody don't have to pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
I see a problem creating. Florida is one of the most designated spots for seniors to move to, warm weather and everything. I don't like it because they got pretty ponds. I like to fish, and they say the alligators in any ponds of water, so I don't mess with them. You know, I'd rather deal with gangbangers and stuff in Los Angeles than deal with alligators and python snakes for real. You know, and Big Hank, I'm gonna tell you this is the truth. Me and my daughter went to Miami Christmas before last, and I got so admired with Miami and driving around, I forgot to get gas. So on my way back to my people's, they was living in Fort Myers. I ran out of gas by the what they call where all the snakes and alligators be. It's called anybody help me know the Florida area, the Everglades.
Okay.
The Everglades, right? And so it's a CRV, and I got to try to push, and I got my daughter trying to steer, right? And every time she looked in, she's like, "Dave, what's that in the road?" Man, you talk about jumping up on the fender. Oh, it's just a stick. All right. Because I ran out. Now, cars was going by me. Wouldn't even help me. Wouldn't help me. I pushed it to the exit and up. Wouldn't help me at all. Now, I'm not saying that was Florida's way of thinking because I was a black. Not because a black dude did stop and help me. After 10,000 cars went by, I'm just being honest.
Nigga said 10,000. Nigga said 10,000. 10,000 cars passed.
One good Samaritan, I was almost there by the gas station. I don't think I can go over this little, you know how you get real little hill going up. Oh Lord, I done deserted myself. I ain't even tripping for alligator something come out. He got a fight on his hands because and so when he got in there, I bought him and his wife. They was a multiracial couple. I never look at that. Love is colorblind to me. But I look at the people who's behind DeSantis, and he said they were scholars and it was very well thought of, and we dissected it, and we just know. And so, you know what I started thinking? Once again, I had to bring up Adventures by Blacks. So with no blacks and all that, you blacks want to leave from Florida, I can't tell you if it's any better, but anything can be better than that. Now, if Florida wants the blacks, since you're so disrespectful to them, they leave. You can't use our inventions neither. All that's out the window. When we leave, you make sure you cut all of that out the books.
Well, you already know that's not gonna happen.
Whatever. You got to figure out how to stop the traffic. You don't got no traffic lights. You can't cut your grass. You can't turn your TV. We made the remote control. Now, when we created these inventions, we didn't create these inventions just for us. We created an invention for all of us. Soul food. I know a lot of white folks that I know, my white friends come over when I cook some soul food. They loving that soul food. Now, we don't cook it just for us. We invite them over for some collard greens. What you call it? What you say? The white guy said, Big Hank,
the white dude said, can you tell your mom to make sure she makes some more of those collard greens? Yeah, the collard greens.
Hey, he left out one of the L's, that's all. CO to our producer.
Hey, my mama make good greens. Hey, my mama makes
what he say? He said, what he say, Big Hank?
Can you make sure that don't forget to tell your mom to make some more of those collard greens? Yeah, those. I love those. I love
it. He left the L out.
You so dang on his heart.
I can see his friends showing him love. Hey man, they call collard greens.
Collard greens, man.
He thought he was getting that shit right. He thought he was getting it right.
Hey, one of my
I don't
mothers.
even say what is it? Chitterlings. I don't even say that right.
You just said that. You just did.
You say chitlins. We don't say no chitlins.
Raisins.
I don't even know where a person is going to say, "Hey, Richie, he don't want no battalion. He don't want no potato salad with raisins in it."
She pronounced every T in that mother. Those chitterlings? Yeah, the chitterlings.
Chitlins. I don't even know how they came up with chitlins.
Man, chitlins, man.
Chitlins, man. Are inventive. That's how they came up with. They had enough.
I've been knowing this chitlins. Hey, it even got me that the chitlins in the store are clean now. I'm like, you
No, you still have to clean them. I mean, I've never tried them, but you still have to clean them.
Oh, yeah, I still do. Every once a year, I eat some chitlins.
I don't.
I just can't do it. I never tried.
You eat hog mugs, Roy?
Once a year, in the honor of my grandparents.
The real name is shitterlings, but they changed that shit because we couldn't eat shitterlings, so they said shitterlings.
Hey, look here. One year, once a year, and one day I'm gonna tell you something.
I'll try not to.
We're used to eating chitlins at the end of the year, which is fall or the beginning of the year, January, right? The Thanksgiving or. Have you ever ate them in the middle of July? Me and the homies having a hard time. Man, it was hot above. We eating bowl of chitlins in the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning with a strawberry vest soda and a Marlboro, trying to figure out how we gonna make it. How we gonna make it today?
That's hard. That's hard time. That's hard times right there, nigga. That's hard time.
Not. I went over there that morning. He said, "You got more chitlins here, bro." We down to the last part. For real. Got me a bowl. Got a Marlboro from him. Stopped at the store. Got a vest soda for 50 cents. I went back. I ate. And then guess what? Thought of a master plan. Because now I'm eating crab legs and French fries. You feel? You think that people want to eat chitlins?
You know what?
Okay. They giving a pig that lasts them a whole 6-7 months. That's why I trip off of these NBA. You want to give a turkey out to homeless people once a year? What the hell they gonna eat? What? Big Hank, don't throw away them turkey feet. You know we're gonna have to need them by February, dog. Them guts, put that guts out that trash. We gotta boil that shit. We ain't gonna get
my God.
Till Christmas of next year.
Hey Roy.
Yo.
Hey Roy, everybody. Hey listen.
What's up?
I just got to where I'm going. I'm out here. I gotta go get this money right now. And I would love to continue to talk to y'all right now, but I gotta get this money to continue my struggle right now.
Well, thank you for blessing us with your presence, bro.
Thank you. Thank you, Levante. Thank you for letting us know, Levante. Thank you, Levante, for letting us know that you had to leave.
And I'm still learning all this.
I feel like I was on a Boondocks episode and
I'm really out here in these streets right now.
Just came through.
Hey, you know what I'm talking about?
Hit the button. Hit the button. Just hit the button, man. Just hit the button.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Hey, how your mama name?
Hey,
hey, man, that's his known phrase. How your mama name?
Hey, that was a whole
Boondocks, man.
Oh my God!
Hey, man, that's my brother.
Roy,
that's my brother right there.
Roy,
huh? Roy ain't got no tact.
you don't know how to screen your people.
Hey, that's my brother. I can't do that. He ain't hurt nobody. Look at him laughing in the background.
Oh wait, he back.
How you do?
You know what? I can't take.
I just want to show him laughing in the background. He having a good time. And
I can't take you.
Hey.
But that was a Thugnificent episode.
I mean, you need to definitely play this over and over again. And it's like, what not to do on Zoom? Roll your joint.
Hey, look.
Put your penis on the screen. What?
Hey, that's
God.
my brother. I gotta ride with him till I die. You feel me? Hey,
I feel you.
That nigga had buses. That nigga had buses, race cars, everything was on the show.
Wait,
Right,
I'm the background. He's still laughing. I'm gonna just bring him up just to show y'all how he just laughing.
I said, nigga, is that a Monte Carlo? Is that a Monte Carlo? Or is that a Camaro?
I had to mess with him, man. I got love. That's my brother. I gotta let him ride till he die. You feel me?
You know what? I turned my camera off because my room was dark in here, but I feel okay now. I can just sit here like this.
I saw a brother walking through.
Yeah, we seen the nigga back there walking around naked. We seen that nigga back there walking around naked on your show, nigga. He was out there walking around naked.
I saw that brother. Look at that brother with that big old tattoo.
Yeah, the nigga said, "Call me next." He said, "Call me tomorrow when you need me again. Call me tomorrow when you need." That's what I heard him say. I heard him say.
She gonna talk about her room was messy.
Oh my God!
Talk about she didn't. Nigga, we know why. We know exactly why.
This was the most.
See that big ass smile on your face? Look at that big ass smile on her face. You know that nigga just left.
Like, oh, you nigga just left. That man walked through the second time. Like, who's in? Who's in? I thought he had no. He walked like this, big Hank.
Yeah, he didn't have no shirt on or nothing. No shirt on or nothing. Just slanging that mother, slanging, walking with that mother.
I didn't even see him walk back. I didn't see him walk by the same way twice.
Don't be lying.
He had a big old green tattoo on his arm. I said, "Boy, that dude was hard."
I saw him.
Leonie saw him. She said, "I saw him. He had just put his clothes on. He had just put his clothes on."
She didn't say nothing about him. Like,
I was distracted by all the freeway and the cars and all the noise, and then the joint that was being rolled. For his
you didn't see that man walk through that room with that towel on his face.
Well, I did see him. I saw him.
I saw that man walk with the towel around his waist. I didn't say that. She got that spasticity.
Yeah, got that movement back in the knee.
How about that feeling back in her leg?
Yeah.
You don't be like James. I be walking Cynthia through the ball. That little sharp thing. Ow!
Y'all know I be walking around his throat.
I heard James frowning.
I heard the nigga said, "Where the towel at? Where the towel at? Where the towel at?"
Is he Jamaican? Because I could have swore I heard him go boom, boom, boom. Go, yeah. He Jamaican.
Boy, tell us not to use that N-word.
Hey. And that's the other thing. You know, I've had blacks. They came on our show one time. This one lady.
She was black?
You know, yeah, she's a black lady named Miss Jazz. I got much respect from her coming from the ATL. George, she came on and she gave us a challenge of not saying nigga.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and I lasted about 3 days because I see my boys, and I'm like, man, what's up? And we doing, and I like, oh snap, I was on the challenge. I guess I felt that one. And so I started thinking about it. We so worried about looking a certain way to others, and you worry about presentation than foundation. You want to worry about my dialect, but don't want to worry about me getting a reparation check. You want to look at about how my appearance should be. I've been around where like dude, he telling me, oh, there's some thugs. Because the guy got on a sweater and a beanie and stuff like that. Well, guess what? I dress like that. No. Well, Roy, are you a thug? Might be concerned in certain situations I'm involved in.
Is that man again? Oh, no, that's her.
That's her son. That's her son right there.
Hey, I want to go.
You going to be petty too, Leonie?
You don't hug no stripper on no podcast. You don't hug no stripper on no podcast. She hugged her son, her family member. That dude gonna walk back. That's why she got her screen blurred. He done went through probably twice.
Listen,
yeah, she do got the background blurred out. She do got the background blurred out a little bit. I can't see that nigga back there, but it's all good.
You know what? I'm so when I have blacks now, see that's the thing. We all don't walk a certain way.
No,
we all don't have a certain outlook. You
right.
know, Rome, that's my brother. We've ran them streets and stuff for real. And it's been a change in me. He knows, and he can feel it. And I keep telling him, hey man, you don't have to stop being. It's like Big Hank's the saying, which we won't press his shirts. I want one of them gangsters for God.
Gotcha. I got you.
We are gang. God didn't ask for no. Hey, the disciples with Jesus weren't no.
Oh, when'd you put on a shirt?
You're right. You made me put on the shirt. Shit, you made me put them on.
He got on a wife beater.
I had just got through working out. All my shit was wet. I took all my wet shit off, put my new wife beater on, came on, and this nigga put the wife beater on.
I think she was trying to clown Big Hank, like on the movie 8 Mile. Big Hank was church saying, "I don't fit you."
Hey, but I wanted to compliment.
He changed his shirt.
I wanted to compliment Leonie on her new hairdo. I like the new hairdo. I haven't seen you in a while. I like your hairdo, man.
Well,
really,
thank you.
Yeah.
Wear her hair all different types of way.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that.
It's about to all go away. Yeah,
no,
see if I'm gonna cut it all off.
No,
don't do that.
No,
don't do that.
No.
Remember how excited you got about me with the tank wife beater on? If you come on this mother with the no, I'm gonna be no.
No.
Don't
be mad at me
I'll
because I'm gonna talk
this
about
and
you.
put this on. I'll take this.
I'm finna cut this off. I'm finna cut this off. Shit, it's getting too long. I can't do nothing with this shit. Yeah, I'm cutting it off, man.
It makes you like a real Israelite. You know what I'm saying?
And that was the look I was looking for. That's what I was shooting for.
Yeah,
really,
like
I was.
A prophet.
That's what I was looking for.
A real Israelite is a look and not a walk.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay,
I'm doing both. I was doing both. I'm doing the walk and the look. I was trying to get it all right.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
I like Leonie's hair like that. You know.
Me too. Yes, sir.
I was just when she seen it, I was just picturing myself, fingers rolling through her hair. I was like, I ain't trying to
there we
go.
go.
But she did her fingers through her hair.
This nigga hit me.
He about to call her out the show.
Hey, there's some. See, look,
you go getting ready.
You made it. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, we got something in common.
Look.
There it
is.
Now y'all looking just like y'all looking like twins.
That's why I said you wear your cap too, baby. You know. It was we in
so
this
find
survival.
something behind everything.
Because we in this survival forever. You feel me? It ain't just black men, black women respect, black families.
Yes, sir.
I mean, disrespectful. I put that in the category now of if another race was to call me the N-word. Because terms endearment is me and my homies ended with an A.
So I'm trying to figure out how did Negro become a term of endearment?
Yeah, well, that has to do with something in the 70s because my uncles and them, I would see them and they would be like, boy, you know what I'm saying? And it was with them. Now, I was taught that with my family members and stuff that what we'll say, and it was just quiet kept. We never spoke like that to each other around other groups of people. It was like a silent thing. Now, one of the things I've noticed is that we never can have no secret situation. Richard Pryor had a joke. He said, one of the white guys asked me, he said, hey, why do you guys always hold your nuts? He said, you done took everything else, motherfucker. Mm-hmm. That's what Richard Pryor said.
I feel that.
You know, so we have a term of endearment and way we express ourselves. So when guys, like when I talk to my white constituents, it never comes up. I don't, you know. Now, there's been times where I did call one of my white neighbors, what's up, nigga? But he wasn't allowed to say it back. That was
why?
No, I didn't tell him to not say it back. It's just that I ended up calling him that, but it wouldn't have been cool if I don't say. Now, I've had some white friends quoting lyrics. They quoting the songs.
Because y'all put it out there.
We gotta make a topic of a whole show about this, because I'm so like into this, especially with my boys, because I've readapted how I talk. Because I used to say nigga this, nigga that, because I was just like everybody else, a term of endearment. But the more I think and the more I realize it's not, and we're just pretending that
you're right,
and we're moving past.
Yes, Cynthia.
We're not growing. Why not call each other king? Queen.
Queen.
What you're saying is, I was telling you.
And see, I was raised not to use that word in the house. My mother never used that word. My father never used that word. I couldn't use that word in the house.
Now,
this is why when I hear it, you know, my niece and them know not to use that word in my house.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. With my
don't
kids,
be sorry to me.
With my kids, I told them that was a bad word. I'm gonna be honest with you. I even told my kids, I'd rather you call me, say MF, than to say nigga or hate. You couldn't say it in my house.
It's not a bad word. It's
no,
just
what I'm saying is I taught my children that it's bad, because they was arguing one time with some of the other little kids, and they playing over PlayStation, and you know, little kids go by something, and one of them say, "Man, I hate you, nigga," and I said, "Hold up."
But now I got a question for you. How can you?
Yeah, please ask that question.
It's a bad thing if you use the word so fluently.
As a term of endearment.
Let me take this out. For one,
it
I
can't
never
be
used
a bad word and a term of endearment at the same time. It's got to be
like this. I'm gonna tell you how I turn it off. I never said it in front of my kids. I never just
they
like I
wouldn't shows.
I wouldn't even cuss in front of my mother. I could talk with you and be cussing like a sailor. My mother come in, it was shut off like that. Now I don't know if other people understand, but my grandmother came in the room. Some of the stuff that I was talking automatically shut off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but see, if you practice, my mother never used profanity.
Yeah,
okay, so it wasn't brought up in the house. So I don't practice using it. And people, I hate when I hear that word. Oh, excuse my French, and it's not French. I look it up.
I don't never make
French.
Excuses for my cuss words.
Profanity. It's
because
profanity.
I let my children know I cussed at my kids when I didn't get a stick and beat them. One time they knew I was upset because I done told them, stop jumping on these beds and run off these walls like you don't got no sense. And they kept doing like I'm, playing because daddy don't never give whoopings. All of a sudden I snapped. I was like, if you motherfuckers don't quit, now they got their attention. I didn't beat them.
I say stuff like, I'm breaking cycles of saying, instead of calling my kids niggas like I was called, I just be like, you too smart to do stupid shit. And I'm still trying to catch myself because these are, things that I was taught, but I'm trying to break these habits, but I'm taking ownership for my bad habits.
But our kids get it easy from us, because when I was a kid, what you just said, Cynthia, I was told stuff like, boy, I'm gonna knock you out the next week. I'm gonna stuff a hole in your head.
And I really believe that Leonie grew up in that's not a normal typical household that he grew up in. My household, the favorite album that was played was Richard Pryor, Red Fox. All that shit was played in my house all day long, all night long.
But the older we got, we were supposed to break that.
Let me finish. Let me finish, Cynthia. I'm the older I got, the more messed up I was. I was in and out the penitentiary. I was in and out. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get a chance to go through all that. So I didn't teach my kids like y'all taught y'all kids. My son, he use it. My daughters, when they get a chance, they don't use it all the time, but I just didn't teach my kids the way y'all taught y'all kids. And so and I still use it in comedy and all that. And I use it as a term of endearment. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Leonie, how do you use it in a term of endearment? Because I'm not running around saying nigga this and nigga that, nigga that. I'm like, hey, what's going on, my nigga? How you doing, man? Everything good?
Yeah, that's how we
try not to use it. I try not to use
it. How can you tell your kids not to use it?
I just told you I didn't. I just said I didn't tell my kids.
Now, my mom raised us differently from my dad. My other sisters and brothers, they said my dad cursed like a sailor, but he never cursed in front of us. And they thought that I was privileged because my dad never raised his hand at us, never cursed, never hit my mother. But they said that he hit their mother, You know,
So you were privileged. You were privileged.
No, I'm saying that's what my half sisters, that's what they said. They said I was privileged. And I said, no, you weren't there when I was raised. I got whoopings, I got punishments, you know, I got, you know, in trouble, but my mother never cursed at me.
That's your privilege, though. That's your privilege. You wasn't called a nigga. You wasn't
never brought alcohol in the house. You know,
okay, yeah, that was a real privilege.
Hey, boy, you in my house.
I just said you grew up. You grew up. Would you grow up in the Cosby household?
Yeah,
but no, like
believe it or not.
You talking to good times here.
Hey, I grew up on 111th between Main and Broadway in Los Angeles. But my mother, all the activities that we did, she took us out of our neighborhood. So we learned how to swim, ski, you know, do all those activities outside of our neighborhood.
It's called privilege.
Yeah, they call that privilege.
We couldn't even get out the neighborhood. We didn't have a car to get out the neighborhood. No, I'm lying about that. I'm lying about that. We always had a car. We always, but she did. We did a chance. My mama was at work. Shit, she didn't take me nowhere.
My mom had 3 jobs. She was a teacher. She was a nurse.
So the park raised us.
And she had 6 kids.
The park raised us, man. The park raised us. The coaches raised us. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. My grandmother was there and all that, but she didn't take me skiing and shit. We didn't go skiing. Yeah, we went
These were activities for the summer. During the week,
I went to the church revival. My grandmother had me there.
We were at church. 7 days a week we were at church. We couldn't. I mean, I told myself when I get older, I'm done with church because I was there so much. Yeah. But guess what? I was that prodigal child. I came back because that's where my foundation was.
I think we all were. I think we all come like that, Leonie. I think we all come like that because we all have a testimony of, because there's a point in our lives that I know for me that I was like, you know what? I ain't feeling the church thing, you know, and I ran with the devil. And when I started realizing that I was being held, you know, every time I look up, I wake up and I'm back to negative again. And I'm like, well, I believe in God, but I'm running with the devil. And as a person who's a witness of second and third chances, see, it's not how we look at each other. It's that we have to look at the heart that God has. He made us a soul. So you no matter how, that's the thing with society, is that we constantly trying to, you know, say, hey, well, you should act like this or you should act like that. No man gives advice to God. David and his men went into the tabernacle and ate food, and the priest was like, hey, man, he's like, hey, man, God gave us the right to eat this. We're hungry. He said, eat in the tabernacle, there's some bread. The disciples were sitting there cracking corn with dirty hands. Here come the people who went skiing and swimming and had on the nice clothes.
No, you had to go there, you little.
No, I'm just teasing. But I'm just saying this. And when you at a pub, when people get to drinking, inhibitions leave. And I've told people, sometimes people express themselves in a matter that their environment, they don't mean no harm, and you want to hear words like nigga, motherfucker, and all that, but their story is there. Sometimes we can't see the forest because of the trees. And the thing is that Jesus was able to relate with all of them.
Exactly.
The sailor,
we don't treat nobody no different.
Not one time.
No, I never belittled anyone. I never said.
Oh no, I never said you did.
No. I know, but when I came to school and when I went to Carson High School, everybody gave me this bad look because they said I talk like a white girl just because I went to school in the Valley. I don't talk like a white girl. I just pronunciate my words correctly. That's it.
Yeah.
That's not white.
I
was about to be funny too.
They taught you well. Like,
hey, some chitterlings. I'm gonna be saying, man, what the hell?
You got any of those chitterlings? You got any more of those chitterlings back there?
Oh, y'all funny.
You know, but hey, though, let me tell you something.
Chitterlings and color green.
So all of us know how to swim, right? We all know how to swim, right?
Oh yeah. You know how I learned how to swim? I was standing. They took us to a swimming pool. My cousin said, "You want to learn how to swim?" I said, "Yes." They pushed me in the deep end. I dog paddled. I was panicking. They was like, "Hey, you better not drown. You better not drown." And I was like, "Woo!" That's how I learned to swim.
Well, see, the same thing. My mother said, "Don't get in that water." And I used to jump in, and my uncle, every time I jumped in, I almost drowned like 6 times. And my uncle said, "Keep jumping in. You'll learn how to swim." I kept jumping in, learned how to swim. And then I decided to be a lifeguard because I wanted to perfect my swimming.
I would act like if you're a lifeguard, I would act like I'm drowning.
I was a lifeguard. I worked my way up to being a lifeguard. We used to take swimming classes during the summer. And as you got better and better, you could move up. And one year I moved up to being a lifeguard one year.
Yep.
Now
out there, Leonie the lifeguard. I'd be like, "Is she the lifeguard?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, act like, but I like, wait a minute, no, they got the other brothers, Big Hank's up there. I'm like, "Oh, that's all right."
Yeah. Nigga, don't put your.
Guess where I learned how to swim? Guess where I learned how to swim? Athens Park. And then when the guys came in and they started taking the girls' tops, my mother took us out and she sent us to Victoria Park because she said, she's not having that. My mother would sit there and watch us swim.
Yeah, we passed our time of 6 minutes. We've been trying to stay on the hour. We're gonna bring the same subject back up this Thursday. Hoping to see everybody on. I'm gonna pull my man Rome on the side and give him some Zoom adequate, and stuff, right? But he was just happy, and he can be himself with me. And so I think everybody who's been listening and joining in, real talk, real people. What you got last thing to say, Big Hank?
Man, keep living life like God is watching because he is.
That's right. Miss Leonie?
Keep your head up. Never look down because you don't know where you're going.
Okay, Miss Cynthia Joy.
How about that one?
Y'all already know how I'm coming. When you're down, there's nowhere else to go but up. Stay strong and never stop fighting for you. Until next time.
And where 3 or 4 is gathered together, touching the green, God is amongst their midst. God bless everybody. See y'all Thursday, man.
Amen.
Welcome to the Roy Anthony and Friends Show.
Staying every Thursday.
Hey, is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody out there?
It's the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast.